Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They go read option, and right away he lost the football.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Go. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Kill.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Now Carson fumbles the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Green 80. Go, 4 down. I can't read. Left pass. Check 26. Switch.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, he's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 30-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. With a catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And the Bengals first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977. But since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you. I got you. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Hey, watch that. Regular.
Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
I got you. Got it. Hey, watch it. Wide. Get wide. Got it.
Now Wilson. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Geno Atkins on the stop. Taken down back at the 18-yard line.
Green 80. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. 12.
On third down, Wilson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of 2. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
44. Hey, Charlie. 93, 52, 93, 44.
On 2nd and 12, Dalton. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Andy Dalton. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
A gain of 3 brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they come up now 2nd and goal. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Where we go? Tighten up. Here we go. Can.
Here's a run with Mixon. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. Dalton's going to sneak it, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Andy Dalton scoring on the sneak from a yard out as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Bullock good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Check. Alert 3. Alert 3. Kill. Save. Switch it. Come on. Hey.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
Check. 56, right there. 56. Look left. Come on, baby.
This time Wilson will throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
Oh, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position. A couple of first downs in order to give some room for their punter and maybe flip the field position for their defense.
A tackle made by K.J. Wright.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front, and to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone, so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Let's go, baby. 368.
Got to be careful here, Dalton. And that is incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
Check 52, come on. It's our field.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. And some room to work. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of 34. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, How about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option?
And they're right down here looking for 6. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the former first-round pick, William Jackson. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now it's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Wilson on the keeper. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It'll be a loss of 1, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Myers able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Under 10, under 10, 10. Move. Heavy.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. That's complete to John Ross. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Cincinnati.
Heavy. Lead. 2-2. Move.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. Big Al Woods there to make the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check out.
So Dalton now. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they were able to get to him on it.
Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. And then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They run it with Carson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
To throw is Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
It's coming again.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks have once again taken the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back, and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. The Bengals drive about to get going. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
What's the run? They're running it.
Throwing again. Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Check 99. Check 99. Here you go. 368. Regular. Under pressure.
To throw again, Dalton. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
24-yard gain on the play.
Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sack back at about the 43-yard line. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw here, Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Andy Dalton now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
They come out here in the eye. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. And they'll try again here, first and goal after the false start.
Let's go. Check that.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Brings up second and goal at the 11-yard line.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal.
44. 44. There you go. We got double up. Rager. Wake up.
And now to the air, Dalton. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. Third and goal.
Mike by four. Record. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Watch the slip.
Throwing, Dalton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All day.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down.
Fair. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check. Curl it. 56 to Mike. 56 is the Mike. Alert. I smell fear in that.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
What? 280. 56, right there. 56. Here we go. Took right. Mike's 56.
Wilson from his end zone on third and long. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. First and 10 at the 14. On first down, Carson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Watch the pass. You go tight. You got tight. Alert.
On second and 9, Wilson, he's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long.
Right here, double count. 4 down, 4 down. Mike 40. Switch up.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He got 29 yards that time. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, tight end's right.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
4 down. Tempo. Hey, Mike 40.
Now it's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
19. Check 43. Sponge. No.
Here's Carson. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 39. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Check. 14, find it. Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the 36, Wilson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target, and it's 3rd down. 1st quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Block that. Check. Mike 50. You better bring it.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. The 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Keep doing that.
They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there, so go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field, you're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
56 is the mic. Alert, flare, flare.
And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Get ready.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really where the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Check.
They go 368.
54 Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Dalton now to pass. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's Jonah Williams, the 11th overall pick back in April. He was actually the first lineman taken. He's a guilty party. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. He's got room to run past the 20 as they'll finally stop him at the 23-yard line. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
But it's now 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Watch the twist.
Practice.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Airing one out for Boyd. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over. Now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Now it's Carson, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
14. 56. Mike's 56.
To throw on third down, Wilson. And he finds Penny. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So now Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Every penalty is so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Green. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
First down, Bengals.
Hot, 368.
Shit. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
61. Matchbox lights.
All right, here's Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Hands up. Please. There you go. 368.
Get up. Get up. Check.
93, 52, 93, 44. Hands up.
From midfield here, Dalton. Wide open receiver complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out.
Mike 40.
Go.
Win championships, baby. 40's Mike.
Easy.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no, switch the mic right here.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And they have taken the lead here in the final minute. They're going to try and run the option right, and he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
52 right here. 52. They're going to need some therapy after this.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
So the victory here for Seattle. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Seahawks, they can breathe a sigh of relief as they're able to eke out the 1-point victory here in the opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.